You've probably been told you're antisocial, weird, or just different your whole life. But what if those weren't criticisms? What if they were confirmations? The habits you think make you strange might actually prove you're something most people don't even know exists. If you recognize these patterns in yourself, everything about your life is about to make perfect sense. Most personality tests and masculine archetypes don't account for men who operate completely outside traditional social frameworks. You don't fit the alpha mold, you're definitely not beta, and you've never found a category that actually describes how you move through the world. Today, we're revealing the specific daily habits and behavioral patterns that definitively identify Sigma males. These aren't theories or generalizations. These are the observable behaviors that separate you from every other masculine archetype. By the end of this video, you'll finally have proof of what you've always suspected about yourself. Sigma habit. 1. You observe before you engage. This might be your most distinctive habit. You never enter a situation without first understanding its dynamics. Ever notice how you automatically scan a room when you walk in? Not for threats or opportunities, but for social patterns, power structures, and unspoken rules. While others jump into conversations or immediately start socializing, you spend the first several minutes just watching. Here's what makes this distinctly Sigma. You're not observing because you're anxious or insecure, you're gathering intelligence. You want to understand the social ecosystem before deciding how or if to participate in it. The specific behaviors that prove this. You arrive early to events just to watch people interact. You can identify the real power dynamics in any group within minutes. You notice body language, tone shifts, and social subtleties others miss. You often know who likes whom before they realize it themselves. You can predict group conflicts before they manifest. Why this habit is crucial? Your observation period isn't hesitation. It's strategic reconnaissance. You're gathering data that allows you to engage more effectively when you choose to engage at all. Most people don't realize this, but your habit of observing first makes you incredibly valuable in complex social or professional situations. You see things others miss because they are too busy participating to actually understand. The deeper pattern. While others are reacting to surface events, you're analyzing the underlying systems that create those events. This habit gives you a massive strategic advantage in every situation. Sigma habit. 2. You have rituals for solitude. This habit separates you from every other masculine archetype. You've created specific, sacred rituals around your alone time. Ever notice how you have particular ways you like to spend time alone that feel almost ceremonial? It might be your morning routine, your evening wind down, your weekend projects, or your thinking walks. But whatever it is, it's structured and intentional. Here's what makes this distinctly Sigma. Your solitude isn't escape. It's recharging and processing. You use alone time to integrate experiences, develop ideas, and maintain your psychological equilibrium. The specific behaviors that prove this. You have a preferred time of day when you absolutely need to be alone. You've created physical spaces that are entirely yours. You have rituals around deep thinking, walks, drives, specific locations. You get genuinely agitated when your solitude routines are interrupted. You use alone time for creative or intellectual pursuits, not just relaxation. Why this habit matters. Your solitude rituals aren't antisocial behavior. They're maintenance routines for your mental and emotional systems. Just like athletes have training schedules, you have contemplation schedules. Most people don't see this coming. But your structured approach to solitude makes you more effective in social situations when you choose to engage. Your alone time is preparation, not avoidance. The deeper significance. While others use social interaction to process their experiences, you use solitude to integrate your experiences. This creates a fundamentally different relationship with both solitude and sociability. Sigma. Habit 3. You test people unconsciously. This habit might sound calculating, but it's actually instinctive pattern recognition. You automatically test people's character, consistency, and authenticity through small interactions. Ever notice how you pay attention to how people treat service workers, how they handle small frustrations, or whether they keep minor commitments? You're not consciously evaluating them. You're unconsciously calibrating their character. Here's what makes this distinctly Sigma. You don't test people to manipulate them. You test them to understand them. Your natural skepticism makes you want to know who people really are beneath their social presentations. The specific behaviors that prove this. You notice inconsistencies between what people say and do. You remember small details about how people handle stress or pressure. You give people small opportunities to demonstrate their character. You lose respect quickly for people who fail basic integrity tests. You can predict people's behavior in new situations based on previous patterns. Why this habit is valuable. Your unconscious testing protects you from investing trust in untrustworthy people. You're not paranoid. You're just naturally quality controlling your relationships. Most people don't realize this, but your testing habit makes you an excellent judge of character. People who pass your unconscious tests are usually genuinely reliable people worth knowing. The deeper mechanism. While others take people at face value, you're constantly cross-referencing their words with their actions. This creates a much more accurate assessment of who they actually are. Sigma habit. 4. You have selective energy management. This habit might be your most misunderstood. You consciously ration your social and emotional energy like it's a finite resource. Ever notice how you can be completely engaged in one conversation, but then need significant recovery time before the next social interaction? That's not social anxiety. That's energy budgeting. Here's what makes this distinctly Sigma. You've learned that your social energy is precious and limited. You can't be on all the time like extroverts, so you choose very carefully when and where to deploy your full engagement. The specific behaviors that prove this. You say no to social events without feeling guilty about it. You have a maximum capacity for social interaction in any given day. You prefer smaller groups because they require less energy management. You can be completely present with someone, then need hours to recharge. You avoid energy-draining people and situations proactively. Why this habit is crucial. Your selective energy management isn't antisocial. It's sustainable social engagement. You're optimizing for quality interactions rather than quantity. Most people don't see this coming. But your energy rationing makes your attention incredibly valuable. When you choose to fully engage with someone, they get your undiluted presence. The deeper strategy. While others spread their energy thin across many interactions, you concentrate yours for maximum impact. This creates more meaningful connections with Sigma Habit 5. You create systems for everything. This habit reveals your unconscious genius. You automatically create efficient systems and processes for recurring tasks, problems, and decisions. Ever notice how you develop specific methods for handling routine situations that seem overly complex to others? You don't just solve problems. You create frameworks that prevent those problems from recurring. Here's what makes this distinctly Sigma. Your brain naturally thinks in systems and patterns rather than individual events. You're always looking for the underlying structure that can be optimized. the specific behaviors that prove this. You have standardized responses to common social situations. You create efficient workflows for both work and personal tasks. You develop decision-making frameworks to avoid repeated deliberation. You notice patterns in problems and create preventive measures. You can't stand inefficient processes and automatically improve them. Why this habit matters. Your systematic thinking allows you to automate routine decisions and focus your mental energy on genuinely important challenges. Most people don't realize this, but your system creation habit makes you incredibly valuable in complex situations. You can see organizational solutions that others miss completely. The deeper advantage, while others are reacting to problems as they arise, you're preventing problems through better systems. This creates a much smoother, more controlled life experience. Sigma habit. 6. You communicate in layers. This habit might be the most sophisticated. Your communication operates on multiple levels simultaneously, with different depths available to different people. Ever notice how you can have a surface conversation that's perfectly normal, while simultaneously communicating something completely different through subtext? You don't just talk, you calibrate your communication to your audience. Here's what makes this distinctly Sigma. You understand that information is power, so you share different levels of truth with different people based on their trustworthiness and understanding capacity. The specific behaviors that prove this. You can engage in small talk while conveying deeper messages through tone and timing. You reveal personal information in carefully calibrated doses. You test people's depth before sharing deeper thoughts. You can redirect conversations without people noticing. You often communicate more through what you don't say than what you do. Why this habit is powerful. Your layered communication allows you to maintain privacy while still engaging socially. You can be present without being vulnerable. Most people don't see this coming, but your communication style makes you incredibly intriguing to perceptive people while remaining safely superficial with everyone else. The deeper strategy, while others communicate linearly, saying exactly what they mean, you communicate strategically, sharing what's appropriate for each relationship level. Sigma habit 7. You operate on your own timeline. This final habit might be the most definitive. You make major life decisions based on internal readiness rather than external expectations or social timelines. Ever felt completely out of sync with what you're supposed to be doing at your age or life stage? That's not delayed development. That's authentic timing. You move when you're genuinely ready, not when society expects you to move. Here's what makes this distinctly Sigma. You trust your internal compass more than external pressure. You'd rather be late by social standards than premature by your own standards. The specific behaviors that prove this. You've made major decisions that surprised people who thought they knew you. You're comfortable being behind on conventional milestones. You take significantly longer to make important decisions than others. You often change direction dramatically when something no longer serves you. You resist pressure to accelerate your natural development process. Why this habit is crucial. Your internal timeline ensures that your major life choices are based on genuine readiness rather than social compliance. This creates more authentic and sustainable life outcomes. Most people don't realize this, but your deliberate pacing often leads to better decisions and fewer regrets than rushing to meet arbitrary deadlines. The deeper wisdom. While others are racing through life stages, you're building a life that actually satisfies you. Your timeline creates authentic success rather than performed success. If you recognized 1 to 2 habits, you have some Sigma tendencies, but might be more of a Sigma-leaning introvert. If you recognized 3 to 4 habits, you're definitely Sigma adjacent with strong independent tendencies. If you recognized 5 to 6 habits, you're clearly a Sigma male with fully developed autonomous patterns. If you recognized all 7 habits, you're a textbook Sigma operating at full capacity. The deeper truth? These habits aren't just identification markers. They're optimization strategies for living authentically in a world designed for different personality types. Here's what most people don't understand. Your weird habits are actually sophisticated adaptation strategies for maintaining authenticity in social environments that reward conformity. Each habit serves a specific function. Observation gives you strategic advantage. Solitude rituals maintain your psychological health. People testing protects your trust investment. Energy management optimizes your social effectiveness. System creation maximizes your efficiency. Layered communication maintains your privacy. Internal timing ensures authentic life choices. These aren't just habits, they're superpowers disguised as quirks. If you recognized most of these habits in yourself, congratulations, you now have scientific proof that you're not weird, antisocial, or broken. You're operating with a completely different behavioral framework than most people. The question isn't whether you're a Sigma male, it's whether you'll embrace these habits as strengths rather than apologizing for them as weaknesses. Your habits aren't accidents, they're adaptations. They're not problems. They're solutions. They're not flaws. They're features. Trust your instincts. They've been right all along. If this video finally gave you the proof you needed that you're definitely a Sigma male, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below with the word confirmed and tell me how many habits you recognized in yourself. And if this video helped you understand that your strange behaviors are actually strategic advantages, smash that like button and subscribe for more insights into the Sigma male psychology and lifestyle. Remember, you're not adapting wrong, you're adapting differently. And that difference is your power. Until next time, trust your patterns.